Oh yeah. How's it going? You a good boy? You want some food? Come on. Go sit down. Wait. Good boy. All right, well, welcome to another video. Thank you for watching today. Hope you're having a good day. For me, it's Saturday morning, which this is one of my favorite times of the entire week because this is the time where I'm able to shoot videos to make YouTube content just like this. And today, I wanted to talk about SLOG 2 and whether or not it is a good picture profile for you. Side note, if you've ever thought about getting a dog, let me just tell you, just go do it. We've had Nike now for about a year and a couple of months, and he is by far, look at this, just the cutest thing in the entire, can you shake? Yeah, good boy. All right, so let's talk about SLOG 2. That is the title of this video here today after all. What I wanna do, instead of just kind of babbling and rambling about SLOG 2 and all the specifications and what I like, what I don't like and all that stuff, if you have any questions, why don't you just leave a comment down below. If you have any questions at all about SLOG 2, I will definitely make sure to respond and answer to you to the best of my ability. But what I really want to show you, and the main purpose of this video, what I want to do is show you some footage that I've already pre-shot in SLOG 2. I want to take that into Final Cut Pro and show you just the process for which I edit and color grade and just kind of all the steps that are required when shooting in SLOG 2. So with all that being said, let's hop into Final Cut Pro and I will show you some footage. All right, so hopping here into Final Cut Pro, I've already got my clips dragged down into my timeline over here, and then I've already gone ahead and put two adjustment layers on top of all the clips. One is the base correction, the other is going to be the look grade. And what I do first when I start to color grade my log footage is I start to do all of just the basic corrections first. So if you hit Command 7, that'll bring up your scopes, and I like to have this little graph right here, 0 representing pure black and 100 usually representing pure white. So what I do first is I take a look at the graph and just try and see what I need to do to the exposure and to contrast and saturation and all that. So first things first, I'm going to bring the shadows down. Not quite all the way, but a good amount. Gonna bring the highlights up just a bit. Maybe leave the midtones low. We'll play around with this here and there. Next, definitely want to bump up the overall saturation of the entire clip. Obviously that's way too much, but maybe somewhere around there is starting to look good for me. And already just a quick before and after, that's before obviously and after. And so all I've done is added a little bit of contrast and saturation, and instantly the clip looks a lot better. Next, what I'm going to do is go into my look grade adjustment layer. I'm going to drop a Color Finale Pro plugin on top of that. That's just the one that I like to use for my LUTs. Open Controls, LUT Inspector, and I'm going to go Daylight 2 here, and I'm going to leave it at about 75%. All right, so already all I've done is changed my my exposure, my saturation, and added a LUT, and already you can tell just a quick before and after of everything that everything looks a lot better thus far. Now for me, this doesn't look quite as good yet. As I'm going into the other clips here, clearly we're still missing some punch and just a lot of vibrance to the clip. So what I'm going to do now, into my look grade, I'm going to go back into Color Finale. I'm going to go into the curves panel. What I'm gonna do here is add more contrast through the tone curves. So I'm gonna do a little S curve, very basic, put a little fade in there. I always like having a little fade. And now what I'm gonna do is basically the same thing to the red, green, and blue curve. So I'm gonna drop the shadow, bring up the highlights, drop the shadow, bring up the highlights, drop the shadow, bring up the highlights again, and quick before and after of the curves. Now we can see a lot more contrast, just a lot more definition, if you will, to the overall clip, and I'm starting to like this a lot more. Yeah, and honestly, I mean, we could be done right here. Okay, so here's a great example. So I'm gonna go ahead and slice my adjustment layers right here. Clearly we've got a little bit too much orange and in the mid-tone, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull away from the orange in the mid-tones, which is obviously towards the blue. Maybe drop just the overall temperature a little bit, cool it up a little bit. There we go, that's looking a lot better. Oh yeah, not too bad at all. Second clip, yeah. If I really wanted to, what I could possibly do is bring up the highlights to add a little bit more brightness into the scene, which clearly, as you can see by the graph here, the waveform, we still have plenty of room to bring up in the highlights. And so I like my images to be a little punchy. Might even bring up the saturation just a bit more. Bring it down in the midtones, up in the shadows. All right. Yeah, I'm liking this a lot. And as you can just see here, I'm gonna go back to this, to the red color of the shirt here. Here's a quick before and after. Obviously, you know, we haven't done too much to it, but it already looks so much better. Gonna go back over here real quick, see what we're doing. I'm getting a little bit, again, on the warmer side of things over here, which I'm not a huge fan of. So maybe I'll cool it down just a tad. There we go. Looking a lot better. Yeah, I really like the way this looks. And then let's go ahead and see a full screen before and after. All right, well, that's all I've got for you today. I hope this video was helpful and beneficial to you in any way. And like I said at the beginning of the video, if you do have any questions about SLOG, make sure to leave a comment down below and I will make sure to get back to you as soon as I can. But for me, that's all today's video is gonna be. I've got to take Nike out because he's getting a little restless, and so we're gonna try and get some of that energy out of him today. But hey, thank you again so much for watching today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one.